Wait, did you hear those footsteps?
Is there somebody walking outside?
I just heard those footsteps. And I could hear them all the way down here.
There's like right outside.
Yeah, that's the first time I've gotten chills. When me and Carl were checking out the main room in the dungeon, we heard footsteps. We ran outside to see if there was anyone around. I heard those footsteps clear as day.
What's on the other side of the dungeon that those windows open up to?
I mean, it's just grass up here, so you wouldn't be able to hear anyone. We looked around outside to make sure that there was no one around, and there wasn't.
Hopefully we got it on audio.
I hope so.
We do have a recorder up here?
Oh, they must have left it.
Ooh.
I wonder if they meant to.
Heather to Stephen Tango?
Go for Stephen Tango.
Did you guys mean to leave a voice recorder in here?
Wouldn't be us. We didn't bring one in there.
Okay, Carl and Ben, did you leave a voice recorder in here?
Yeah, I don't have a problem if you guys want to leave it in there for the rest of the night.
Just get more coverage.
Wait a second, you left it in there.
You gotta be good.
You just left it in there. You didn't collect it, and now you're trying to pass it off as if, hey, don't recognize my mistake.
Yeah, we did get distracted with you guys, so it was kind of half-half.
That's cool. Just now you would say, oh, yeah, I did leave it in there. We don't cover things up or try to, we are always at face value. And if we can't start with little things of trust, how are we ever going to believe anything else? You know what I mean?
You know, we had team members in the past that would lie and sort of hide their mistakes and blame things on other people, and we just don't want that behavior on our team anymore. Everybody has to be at face value 100% of the time, or they just have no place in our team.
Steve, to Heather and Susan, please.
Copy?
Hey, guys, you're in officers' quarters, right?
Yep, in the downstairs room.
When we were in there, we had captured
Voice saying, mommy.
and also there's reports of
People seeing a screaming woman in one of the windows, so keep a close eye out for that, okay?
Thank you.
Are you picking up something right now?
Sort of like they're here, but not quite physically here, like in this room at the moment. Kind of a possibility, maybe deciding whether to come in or not. So either of the spirits, that the little girl or the woman, if either of you would like to come back and talk to us, would please.
Heather, I'm getting a serious feeling right now.
Okay.
I
Can you describe it?
man, I feel like I'm going,
Spirits, sometimes they don't know other ways of communicating, or if they're overly emotional, the easiest way for them is to just give that emotion to somebody else. I know that you are just, giving us a sign that you're here in the best way you know how at the moment. But I do ask that if you could stop affecting my friend Susan that way. I'm sorry.
all of a sudden, I started getting a sense of intense sadness. I felt like it was escalating so fast, that feeling, to a point where I felt like if I didn't leave, I was going to be paralyzed with agonizing sadness. Hi, guys.
You all right?
Oh, my God.
What's wrong? What's going on?
I was working with Heather inside the officers' quarters downstairs. Freaking hit out of nowhere, just this intense sadness and loneliness. And, I just have to shake it off. I'm just really unnerved right now. This wasn't a part of myself I wanted to expose. I just wanted to come in here and do the science of it and see it, but who am I kidding, knowing how I am?
I really wanted to focus on the scientific aspects of ghost hunting because I already knew how ghost hunters viewed mediums and psychics.
I mean, I don't see them, I feel them, and that's one reason why I'm into the paranormal, and I don't necessarily put that out there.
You get
And
the
I'm an
emotions.
empath, yeah.
The emotions.
I was a little shocked by the fact that Susan claims to be an empath. Jay and Grant had mentioned honesty, and she should have confided in us sooner. I'm a little disappointed.
I hid this ability from Steve and Tango because I know that as a psychic empath, anything that comes out of my mouth is going to be taken with a grain of salt.
Hey guys, we're going to wrap this investigation. Let's go lights up, okay?
My first investigation, it was everything and more that I hoped for. I mean, going through to this really historic place and just getting to learn the history and ghost hunt was just incredible. Has anyone gotten the IR out of the casement yet?
No, I got the IR out of powder magazine.
There were a few instances where, you know, we had some breakdowns, we had some scare moments, but I think overall, I think we really cohered and did a really good job together.
I've got the spool. We can start taking this wire back.
I was a little bit out of my element with some of the tech stuff. It's not something that's really been part of my background, so having to start from scratch with no real idea of what it is that I'm doing, what it is that I'm putting together was a little bit tricky.
Not having many personal experiences on this investigation, I feel like the analysis is going to be the part that really stands out to me. And to be able to actually bring something of quality to Steve and Tango might give me a bit of an edge, might exceed their expectations of me.
Overall, the group did really well, but there were some issues that came up that make us question some of them. These aren't things that we could take lightly. These are things that could seriously impact how long they may be staying with us. How you guys feeling after that investigation?
It was a good work.
Yeah?
Did you like it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Well, now we have to analyze everything. You know, all of the video, all of the audio, the thermal footage, everything needs to be analyzed in real time.
It's a lot of stuff. It's going to be long and grueling. You know, so we're going to test them big time. We're going to see what their skill level is. I mean, you need to really show us that you want to be here and that you want to be the next ghost hunter. I mean, if you're not, and I'm sorry, you're out of here. We want to pick the best person to represent our field.
All right, guys. Well, have at it. And remember, stay focused.
All right.
Excellent. Let's get to it.
Okay.
All right.
I'm excited to get into doing the evidence, really, because I had a lot of personal experiences in the captain's quarters downstairs, and I want to see if I caught anything on camera or audio.
Hey, rewind that real quick.
I want to have you take a listen to this. It's when I was in the casemate.
Okay.
With my background as a medium, I think finding physical evidence is important for validation for me. With Steve and Tango, you know, they're generally a little bit tougher on me, which is fine, but it would definitely help with some validation and some credibility for that.
Okay, it was like right there at like 36. It is a little bit intimidating going into the analysis. Like, it's something I'm not used to doing yet, so jumping into it, maybe I'm going to miss something. I don't know, but I'm trying to stay confident.
Yeah, just give me a ton of chills. Wow. The one piece of evidence that really blew me away was the whole EVP. It was just incredible. It was incredible to hear that just come up on the recorder.
Oh, dude, there's no mistake in that one.
You're at the end of the analysis. So how did it go?
It was long.
Yeah.
Very long, very tedious.
Very rewarding.
Grueling? Definitely.
Very rewarding. So that's a good sign. Rewarding.
You said that?
Yes.
I don't know what their analysis habits are yet, but I would love to get a real piece of evidence from them, like something that me and Steve will be like, wait, this can really be something.
How about we get right into it and let's see what you guys found.
This was caught in the powder magazine on the second night of the investigation.
Okay.
I'm really nervous about Steve and Tango coming in to go over the findings with us. I think that physical evidence can absolutely validate what I'm picking up with Steve and Tango.
All right, so this is in the Powder Magazine, second night of investigation.
So what was your first instinct when you saw this?
It starts out looking a little similar to some of the pieces of dust we saw because it is transparent, but then, you know, it heads over toward the door, kind of changes in consistency, flashes a little bit. That's where they kind of had some questions.
Okay. I mean, right away, I can tell it's just a piece of dust. Most likely, the dust is just spinning in the atmosphere, and the IR just happens to be catching a shiny surface of it, giving you every once in a while a strobe
like
effect.
a reflection.
Good eyes, guys. What's next?
Good eyes.
Next, I believe that's all the video, so now we're going to move on to audio.
So that's it for video. Thermal, DVR, mini DVs, and this is all we found?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Nothing wrong with that.
No.
This is actually one that I found. This is Heather in the dungeon asking particular questions, and after that is when you'll hear.
Okay.
Johnny, when you say you guard this place, do you mean the dungeon or the fort? Fort.
That little... Yes. It almost sounds like wood sliding on concrete. What do you guys think it is?
I heard just a almost as if it was a response.
I think that's just, sounds within the room. You can almost hear the reverberation all the way up through the wood. You could tell that there's a sound carrying through the wood and the acoustics change a little bit.
The recorder was on the cot, right? It's right there.
And we go by the method of, if there's any way that anybody else can doubt what we're going to present, we don't even use it. This one, guys, I think is a sound from the room.
Yeah.
I've got one next, actually. Chris and Heather were both in the Powder magazine, almost like a whisper of breath.
And I've got a very small light.
You kind of hear like little syllables almost.
Small.
Yeah. Who found this one?
Found those, Carl.
This is a nice one, Carl. I think so. If you're positive this wasn't somebody in the room talking to you, this could be pretty good because it doesn't match the reverberation of the other voices. It sounds different. It almost sounds like it's almost like an interruption.
Yeah.
You know? And
doing its own thing, and you're doing your thing.
This is nice. This I'm impressed with.
I'm glad that Steve and Tango were so impressed with that one piece of evidence. It makes me feel really good. Kind of surprised me a little. I didn't think I had anything.
Anything else, guys? What's next?
We have one last thing that really kind of threw me for a loop.
Don't give me that face. I want to see it. I want to listen now. When he has that face, it means it's good. Kind of sounds disgruntled, doesn't it? You're like, it's not happy. Whatever.
To me, it almost sounded like your name, Ben.
To be honest with you, I don't even think half the crew knows my last name, number one. And number two, I don't ever remember me or Carl talking to each other.
Well, why would you guys call him Ben Smith?
Right.
Why would you say your own name?
Right.
Now, real quick, would you consider that a residual, or would you consider that intelligent?
Definitely.
All right,
Has to be intelligent.
So it knows your name.
Right. Yes. Good job, guys. If you guys wouldn't mind just heading out of the RV and leaving us alone with Susan for a few minutes, we're going to talk to her about something, okay? All right, guys.
All right.
Thank you. Hey, Susan.
Hey, Susan.
We had something we just wanted to talk to you about. We saw some footage from the investigation. You and Heather were investigating, and at one point, you broke down into tears and left the investigation. We had heard you saying that you were picking up feelings of their sadness and that you were in somewhat a sensitive yourself. And wondering why you would keep that from us.
To tell you the truth, I was hoping not to even add the fact that I have those sensations because I know how you guys view people like that.
You're still hiding something from us.
She should have known it was okay. She could see how Tango and I were dealing with Heather, and you know, it's all right to have those feelings and those gifts, but you just have to talk to us about it. You being at face value and being truthful has to happen 100%, or there's no reason to continue from this point any further. And, you know, I think we can make a deal. You won't hide anything from us. We won't judge you whether you use feelings or use our equipment, but we just have